Wednesday, October 17th. Who was Paul Allen? So Paul Allen passed away this Monday, and we'll take a moment to look at the impact he's had on our area, especially Seattle, as well as larger scope projects in which he has graciously donated a large amount of his estate. So we look at the timeline from King 5 and also check out things like the Global Fin Project. A quick interruption for third period. Our pilot for McGraw-Hill is ready, and we will log in to test that system today for about 10 minutes and then move on. We were in the middle of extracting leaf pigments, which we call leaf chromatography. So we want to analyze the results. We're going to go over and get our test tubes and see what happened. So to paint a bigger picture, we took leaves. Inside of those leaves, there are layers made of cells. Those cells have organelles. Some of those organelles are things like chloroplasts. And those organelles contain pigments that allow plants to capture energy from the sun. You might have results that look something like this. Here is an example of where the next step in chromatography, we're not going to calculate RF values, but we can do a more precise version of chromatography. I'm sure you will in high school biology. Instead of just looking at colored bands on paper, you can calculate things like RF values and accurately identify the pigments that you get. Here's an example of a number of pigments on one, and I'm not sure we'll get this many pigments in a single band, but you might. We relate this back to the entire electromagnetic spectrum, talk about how the sun, we're going to focus on the visible wavelengths, but this is where it fits in, and overall. We see that in rainbows. When sunlight is scattered with raindrops, we get each of the individual bands of colors, and those colors can then be absorbed, those wavelengths, by individual pigments. So plants contain not just one pigment, but often many, which maximize their ability to absorb sunlight depending on where they live and what conditions they're in. And so then you go out and you get to search for those. So go get your test results. Take a look at your filter paper. We're going to sketch, we're going to research and identify each of the pigment bands, and then you'll go back to document number 11 as a group and fill it out. The photo insert is now extra credit, but then your individual paper sketch must be turned into the bin in the front.